What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be taking a closer look at the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's cruiserweight fight in England on the undercard of Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn between Viddal Riley and Cheavon Clarke. Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please hit subscribe? My YouTube analytics are telling me that 80% of you who watch and enjoy my content haven't hit subscribe yet. Could you also like this video? And right now, go down to the bottom of your screen where you see the bell notification button. Hit that so you can be notified every time I put something out that's new. Thank you. All right, guys, another fight week is here, headlined by Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, a grudge match for the ages. We're really excited about this fight card. It's stacked. This card's coming live from Tottenham Stadium in the UK, London, England, and we're going to be featuring one of the fights on that undercard. It's a cruiserweight matchup. In my opinion, it's as close to a 50-50 fight as any other fight on the card, and I'm excited to break this down for you. In this video, we're going to be going over both men's careers. We're going to talk about how they go about their business, what each fighter has been up to, and like always, stay tuned to the end of the video because I'll be giving you my prediction and telling you where to make the most of your money. Let's get into this. A lot of you might know who Viddal Riley is other than from his boxing. He came onto the mainstream around 2017 for coaching the streamer KSI. A lot of you Americans might not know who that is, but by now everybody should know who KSI is. This is like the UK's version of Logan Paul. You see him all over the internet, all over TV now, and Viddal Riley was his coach. He was also signed with Floyd Mayweather's promotion early on in his career. He's currently signed with Ben Shalom and boxer. He's an undefeated cruiserweight. He's in the prime of his career. He's a very technical and skilled fighter, and he wants to continue his trajectory, hopefully with one day fighting for a world title. He has to get through a very tough Cheavon Clarke. Cheavon Clarke is a former Olympian, fought in the Olympics in 2020. This is a guy who's coming off a tough split decision loss, his first loss of his career against Leonardo Mosquera. If you guys have not watched that fight, go watch that fight. Chev got dropped early in the first round, overcame a lot of adversity, and it turned into a slugfest. It turned into literally a testament of grit and who wanted it more. And at the very end, the refs gave it to Mosquera in a very close split decision. So Clarke is coming off that loss. We know that Riley is coming off a knockout victory over Dan Garber, and these two were bound to face each other with the King of the Mountain in the UK at stake, and hopefully the winner will project themselves into a potential world title contender shot. We know the guys in that division, the top dogs, are the Aussie Jai Apatow, and there's also Zurdo Ramirez there as well. So these guys will let the world know where they stand in that pecking order after this fight. Right now, let's take a closer look at what's at stake this weekend. Viddal Riley believes that he will have to beat Cheavon Clarke into submission if he is to become the British Cruiserweight Champion. Riley, 12-0 with 7 knockouts, will challenge Clarke, 10-1 with 7 knockouts, for the famous Lonsdale belt on the undercard of the massive middleweight grudge match between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. Riley was a multi-time national champion as a junior and has coasted through his early stages of his pro career. The 27-year-old has barely broken a sweat during his rise to English champion, but by inking a contract to fight Clarke, he has signed up for an entirely different type of challenge. Riley admits that the thought of mixing with the explosive Olympian has shaken him out of his comfort zone, and I quote, "Chev's cool, man, but this is an opportunity. It's going to be a good fight." The excitement is clear in his voice. It's going to be a great fight. It's like why people go to Thorpe Park, which is a famous theme park in the UK. You have that thrill-seeking side of where you're like, whoa, I'm going to get on this ride. I actually feel the same about this fight, says Riley. It's a challenging fight. It's a fight that not everyone's going to assume I'm going to win. I'm not going to just go in there and batter him. There's challenges that are going to be faced, but I'm extremely confident I'll overcome it. This time last year, facing Clarke would have been seen as a step too far for the talented but relatively untested Riley, but in perception at least, the gap has closed considerably. Clarke started last year on a tear. In January, he blew through Tommy McCarthy and then picked apart Ellis Zorro to become the British champion. Things suddenly got tougher for the 34-year-old. In August, he was hurt during a majority decision win over Apokchi and then had to pick himself off the canvas during a split decision defeat to the dangerous Leonardo Mosquera in a vacant European title fight. Injury has prevented Riley from capitalizing on last March's English title win over Mikel Lawal, but he has been working in the gym and has taken positives from Clarke's recent struggles. Although Apoki, and in particular Mosquera, are dangerous operators, they have proven that with the right approach and tactics, Clarke can be beaten. And I quote, Chev has shown that he's got skill. He's shown that he can adjust. He has the endurance, the mentality to not fold when things are rough, and that always makes for a tough fight because the person is not there to just give in. You have to beat them to submission, and that creates a tough fight, end quote. Hey guys, this is what I think the narrative of the fight for both men will be. Who will be able to make the proper adjustments mid-fight? Who will be able to be the most resilient, most durable, and still operate at a high level when they're getting tested? This is boxing at its best regarding fighters who want to take it the next step to the next level, having to overcome adversity and showing themselves and showing their fans what they're made of. Right now, I want to take a closer look at Cheavon Clarke's career and see what he's been up to. Guys, Cheavon Clarke's 10-1 with 7 knockouts. He carries in the ring a 70% career knockout to win ratio, and out of 1,504 cruiserweights in the world, he's ranked number 20th. He has 70 career pro rounds boxed, and his adoring fans call him C4. The Brit is a 34-year-old Orthodox fighter standing at 5'11" with a 74-inch reach. We last saw him fight Leonardo Mosquera, 15-0. He lost that via split decision in the 12th. Apoki, 12-2, majority decision win in the 10th. Zorro, 17-1, knockout in the 8th. McCarthy, 20-5, knockout in the 4th. Dukar, 14-6, UD in the 10th. Cheavon Clarke is one of these guys who's as tough as he looks in the ring. He's not only technical, but he's also aggressive. And watching the last few of his fights, you've got to see a guy who knows how to overcome adversity. And we talk about this on the channel all the time. One of the downsides of a young, undefeated fighter who's never been tested is that we as fans and him as the fighter, they don't know, he doesn't know how he's going to withstand and handle that adversity within the fight. With Cheavon Clarke, we've seen him get hurt multiple times. We've seen him pick himself up. The Mosquera knockdown in the first round, guys, I thought that fight was over. He was on wobbly legs, and it took him a while to survive. But we saw a veteran who knows how to survive, who knows how to overcome that adversity, and he started fighting back, and he fought to a close split decision, had his moments, had Mosquera hurt late. Very fun fight. Watch that on YouTube if you haven't seen that. Now let's take a closer look at his opponent, Viddal Riley. Guys, Riley's 12-0 with 7 knockouts. He carries into the ring a 58% career knockout to win ratio. Out of 1,504 cruiserweights in the world, he's ranked number 29. The 27-year-old Brit is an Orthodox fighter standing at 6'1" with a 76.5-inch reach. We last saw him fight Dan Garber, 7-3, knockout in the 2nd. Mikel Lawal, 17-1, UD in the 10th. Nathan Corliss, 12-0, UD in the 10th. Anish Taj, 7-3, knockout in the 4th. Anish Taj the first time, 7-2 knockout in the 4th. So with Viddal Riley, this is a guy who's fought his whole career to get to where he is. He'll be the first to tell you he wants to be more active. He wants to challenge himself, and this is a step in the right direction. If he could get through a tough Cheavon Clarke, I think he might be ready to take on Europe's best of the best at the cruiserweight division. And if he gets through them, I mean, the world stage is only the next step. At 27 years old, he's coming into his physical prime. We know he's as confident as you'll see. He's a very technical fighter, and he's very fun to watch. The only downside on his career, which isn't really a downside, is we truly haven't seen him tested in those deep waters in a fight. We haven't seen him be the nail yet. He's always been the hammer. So if you want to call that a downside, that's about it, as the chink in the armor going into this fight. I think this is a step up for Riley, considering Cheavon Clarke being the older guy, the Olympic pedigree, been in the tougher fights. All in all, it's going to be a close matchup. So right now, let's look at those Las Vegas odds. Guys, I use a sports book app down here in Australia called Sportsbet. Before I continue, I want to let everybody know this segment of the show, guys, I only do this for you. I'm not a professional gambler. I don't gamble or bet to get rich, and I only give you guys my prediction because you ask for it. So stay tuned to the end of the video. If you guys are struggling with gambling, I have a little hotline there. I find it really enjoyable to pick and see how accurate am I with my analysis and predictions. But if you guys are finding yourself not enjoying gambling on the fights, please stop. All right, guys, currently Sportsbet is only allowing me to bet on the money line. Right now, Viddal Riley is the favorite. He's $1.62, meaning that if you put 100 on him, you get your money back plus 62 bucks. The draw 17-1. The veteran Cheavon Clarke is a 245 underdog, meaning you put 100 on him, you get your money back plus 145 bucks. So it's not quite a 50-50 fight. I'm going to be interested as the prop markets open closer to the weekend as the money starts pouring in on each side. What I'll do is I'll pick my method of victory bets if I do change it, and I'll put it in the community section. Right now, the money's on Riley to beat Cheavon Clarke. Here is my prediction. I'm going to go against the Vegas odds. The tape that I've watched on Cheavon Clarke, his last 2 fights, versus the tape I've seen on Riley, even though Riley's a younger guy, even though he's undefeated, I think I'm going to lean on that adversity and that ring experience from Cheavon Clarke. I like seeing a guy get knocked down, come back up, and still think that they can win that fight. And in a close 50-50 fight, I'm leaning on that adversity in the ring. I'm going to take Cheavon Clarke to beat Viddal Riley. This is not an echo chamber like I always say in the comment section below. Let me know who you're going for. Let me know where you're putting your money. Are you taking Riley or are you taking Clarke? Stay tuned to the channel, guys, because all week I'm going to be breaking down this entire card.